Welcome back, guys. A local Bulls fan here. It's almost about that time where the trade deadline happens. Not a lot. Well, no trades besides the Boston and Spurs for cash considerations have actually made any moves. I guess since the Rudy Gobert trade happened, teams have been very hesitant because it's looking a lot lopsided right now. I have Rudy on my fantasy team, and let me tell you, he hasn't been putting up numbers. And Walker Kessler just did a 20 and 20, so that tells you right there that market for trades is going to be very steep, especially for an overpay we saw for a guy like Rudy on top of the draft capital and everything. So I think a lot of teams have been very hesitant to actually make moves, as well as since the play-in and the Boston Celtics selling that pipe dream, it really shifted the way every team is looking at their roster at the moment, especially the value of certain guys and just the way they want to blow it up or not. If they have hope that, yeah, we're going to beat the Celtics, we're going to do that. Might not, maybe, I don't know. But what does this have to do with the Bulls? So I have been thinking about doing a trade video for a while. I'm always on the trade machine. But in my channel, I really want to make realistic trades that no one really thinks about, trades that go along with the reportings, and things that actually make the team better, things that are realistic. Because yeah, I can make Bulls go get KD, Bulls go get some other guy, LeBron, AD, whatever. But I really wanted to make it realistic. So my first trade here is not realistic at all. I just wanted to show you guys, because I put a lot of time thinking about this, is blowing it up. I'm going to have it right here for a second. You guys can pause it, screenshot, look at the trade. It's a mess, but we're not going to really talk about that one so much. I just want to show you my train of thought, because I was very much on the camp of just blowing it up and thought this was the best way possible. Thinking a roadmap, especially with teams like OKC, Cleveland. No, Cleveland didn't blow it up, but the whole rebuild process. I'm really fascinated about that. And then I did another trade here where it's the team taking a retool of 2 steps back and 1 step forward. Pause the video here. You could see the Bulls. This one I did just a big retool in mind, but that's also not realistic based on the reportings and interview that Casey Johnson had over at Hoops Hype. It's not something realistic, or it can happen. I did some research for it. I did do a lot actually, but it's not realistic. It's not the trade I'm going to talk about. Now, in the article, there's a part where he talks about trading away Kobe White. I know the Bulls have been shopping him, but personally, I don't know if you guys have been watching the games, but that man's been hooping. That man has been having the ball on a string, shooting lights out. I'm not moving him. If we're trying to compete in the playoffs and stuff, I'm not moving him. On top of that, we have a lot of guys here with Alex Caruso, Goran Dragic, and Drummond. I know I said I wanted Caruso to be traded, and like I said, that's very much an option, but they see more of the untouchable side, and they're for a deep playoff run, and that's what the Bulls want to do. They want to build a team for a deep playoff run, so they don't want to touch any of the core guys, basically. So it leaves me to think, what are some low-key moves? What is a move that they can do? They're going to be silent at trade deadline. What is something that they could actually, cook up, something to come up with? Because there's 2 problems that the Bulls have. Defending / rebounding and shooting. Now with the trade, realistically, you only can address one of those if you're not moving your bid pieces, especially with the money, the tax, everything like that. You only can get one. A guy who brings both is going to warrant some type of big move, some type of money. You only get the shooting, or you can only get the defense and rebounding. So I'm looking at the core up and down, and I saw some of our trade assets, thinking, what something that's valuable we have. And the trade I'm coming up here is for the Portland pick. The Portland pick for Jared Vanderbilt from the Utah Jazz, as well as the Bulls give Tony Bradley and Marco for salary filler purposes. Now, Jared Vanderbilt is a player that every team is clawing at, every team is eyeballing. But with the way the market is, his contract, he only gets paid $4 million. So you got to think for a trade. Why would the Jazz do this, and why would the Bulls do this? Bulls immediately, he's a Javonte, Derrick Jones Jr. type of guy. He could easily come and fill the role. Drummond hasn't been getting many minutes. He's been getting a lot of DMPs, but that's where Vanderbilt could come in and be a backup center, where Derrick Jones Jr. tries to be. Vanderbilt could easily do that, which would be great for this team. And along for the Jazz, as to why no long-term money attached, and you get a pick that's essentially might be 15, or might be for next year, and so on and so forth. That Portland pick could help them move up, because I really don't see Danny Ainge settling for being a mid-tier team and making the playoffs. That's not getting you anywhere near. Mike Conley's not taking you to a chip. Clarkson's not taking you to a chip. However, if you build around your guy, your nucleus of Lauri Markkanen, you got Walker Kessler, and you have Colin Sexton. Let's say you go up and try, and you land a Scoot Henderson or another guard that could really be the focal, be the missing piece of your offense. I could really see being the Utah Jazz intrigued with that Portland pick to whether to move up. And I doubt if anyone has a second pick, they're going to trade it. But they're just assets I feel like Danny Ainge would love to take advantage of. And I remember I saw the Jerry Grant trade, where he was traded from Detroit to Portland. It was picks because they didn't want long-term money attached. And what makes the Bulls have the advantage compared to other teams in a trade is, remember, there's other teams out there, and that's what I try to keep in mind with the trades I put together, as to how realistic is this? Because then you could offer trash, no one's gonna take your trash. There's always gonna be a better offer. So I'm thinking, for one, it's not going to a team in the West making anyone in the West better. Two, it's an immediate pick. Dame, he's usually done this where the team sucks before All-Star break, pulls them to at least the bottom tier, and I could see that happening. I could realistically see them, doing that. Because I could see the Jazz, falling out, and another team might fall out, because both conferences are pretty much together. They're only a couple games apart. So this gives the Jazz a pick and no long-term money, and it's an immediate pick. What's different from a Lakers pick, or different from, let's say, the Sixers pick or whatever, is because it's an immediate pick. It's nothing long-term. They could actually move something around, especially in that deep 2023 draft that's coming up. The Bulls get immediate help. Some stats here. So Jared Vanderbilt averages about 8.4 points a game, 8.1 rebounds a game, 2.8 assists. He shoots 56.6% from the field and 33% from the three, which isn't bad. He only takes one attempt, so it's nothing crazy. However, he fills in exactly what we need. Another wing, brings in that rebounding, brings in that defense, a larger guy we could use. Again, you can't. He's not going to bring you the shooting, but essentially you're not willing to trade away anything from that nucleus. You're not going to get much. And frankly, I'm trying to look at the minutes he plays. He plays 25 minutes a game. Nothing crazy. He can play on, like I said, backup center role, which I see Billy Donovan loves small ball. He sets the screens, easy cutter. He could easily pass out, and he's on a team-friendly deal. He's right now making only like $4 million. Like I said, that's why I feel like the trade with the Bulls is so great. And then he's on for another year too. He's only about like 24 years old. This gives the Bulls a real opportunity. Like, if you want to rebuild, you have another piece you can rebuild with. On top of that, it's not long-term money. You're giving up the Portland pick essentially for win now help, but he's a young guy. Frankly, the Portland pick might not convey as well. That's another reason why I see the Jazz staying away from it. But also, I don't see the need. The Bulls have their young core now. There's no point in developing another young guy coming in. Dalen Terry's not getting minutes. I don't see another guy coming in getting minutes. Vanderbilt's help right away. He could easily play that 4 or that 5 position. He could bring the ball down the court. Overall, I see the Bulls having a real shot because Danny Ainge loves his picks. Tony Bradley's on the last year of his deal. Marco gets paid $1 million. You might have something with Marco, probably don't. But at the end of the day, I could see them really giving the Bulls Vanderbilt over like the sits. Like I said, it's an immediate pick, which is good, and it's gonna be somewhere in the high teens, rather than the mid teens technically, rather than like the 20s or something. And it's not something in 2027 or 2025. It's recent. So I can really see Vanderbilt coming in right away, helping stretch the floor. You get depth at the wing position when it's time for the playoffs, things like that. Overall, I just wanted to present like a real trade. If anyone has any other trade ideas in mind, I didn't want to make any other trades, any other ideas, because I feel with the Jared Vanderbilt one, essentially that's like one of the best options, and I don't want to just keep cycling through different variations of this trade for different players. Like, Matt Strus is on a 1-year deal. I don't really see the Heat giving up a Matt Strus just because they're trying to win a title. No matter what, they're in championship mode. So I don't see that happening. But overall, I feel very confident with Jared Vanderbilt, and I don't see the team trying to blow it up, break it up based on the reports. But who knows? You know, could be wrong, could not be wrong. I mean, no matter what, I see this as a W trade. You young guy, essentially something that you could have gotten in the draft, but you get him right away. You get a sure thing right away, which is always preferable. So, yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much, guys. Any trade ideas, let me know. I wasn't trying to put anything with Drummond or Goran. Like I said, depth is key. Go Bulls. I'll see you when I see you.